Hey guys, welcome to the League of Legends Champion Spotlight, featuring Rich, the non-binary panda trash can. No.
Oh my god.
I told you guys would do it. Actually though, welcome to what we are calling the PMA LCS Asian recap of Week 4. I am Rich, the non-binary, and I'm joined by Rich, the trash can.
Hello, that's me.
And Rich, the panda.
Hello.
And,
you guys are so bad.
Oh god, the cringe just starts from the get-go. So yeah, hey guys, so we decided to just kind of do this every week. Just kind of go over what happened, go over the matches, talk about stuff for the upcoming weeks. So we are gonna do this kind of like the intro stream to the season. So I'll just have like a text document up and I'll be like typing out stuff. So yeah, hold on, let me also change the stream title because that's important. Hold on. Asian recap. Okay, title's changed. So yeah, so just go over the results of the week. The first match we had was Parp versus Cass's Shoe Shop, and I kind of taking everyone by surprise. Cass's Shoe Shop actually took the 2-0 over Parp.
No, I agree. The team Parp is very, very solid team with Ali in the mid lane and Caleb Blackie Chan on top lane. And the Ali shot calling is a force not to be trifled with. It's very, very precise, and when Ali is on fire with shot calling, you can't really do much about it. Macro, and her mechanics are very solid, very consistent as well. Same as Caleb. Caleb's mechanics are pretty good as well, and the rest of the team are able to follow Ali's macro. That's why I was kind of surprised when the team CSS took him by 2-0 win against the team Parp. I think one of the main reasons that the team CSS won is because of Clumsy Chocobo, the jungler for the CSS. He has done a tremendous job making sure the mid and top lane are too far behind, so they're able to carry on through the late game. And we also have DJ Mad Hatter, which is Frank. Even if he's behind, which he wasn't at all, he's put out tremendous amount of damage throughout both games. It was just amazing. So, and not to mention that on the second game we had the infamous Leona top.
Oh my god!
One and only Caleb. I honestly don't know what to say about that. I thought we could consider that as a quote-unquote pocket pick, but I mean, given he did a wreck on top lane, he did great job on top lane, but did he have any other impact on the other lanes and other just like globally? Not really.
Really, Panda's just crying in a corner to see Leona played like that.
Mr. Leona, man.
I'm sure.
Yeah, Leona was played like 4 times or 3 times and has a 0% win rate this week.
Yeah, something like that.
But we'll get to that later.
Yeah. So, second match that happened, 9-inch Torpedoes versus Team Foreskin, and again, to everyone's surprise, the upset happened. 9-inch Torpedoes pulled out 2-0 versus Team Foreskin, which I think we were expecting even less than Parp getting 0-2'd.
Mm-hmm. I definitely agree with that. Sorry, I kind of zoned out. Sorry.
Read the script.
Hold up, let me turn on my script.
The true trash can. Point this trash for scripting, oh my god.
My bad. I definitely, I agree with that. So But Parp is still a team
Harp
to
is still a team. I agree.
that people have to be careful of. If you underestimate them, they'll definitely like come at you out of nowhere, and you lose out of nowhere as well.
Wait, we're only
So-
talking about torpedoes?
No, I'm saying Parp. I'm finishing it up,
Oh.
and then now I'm going to torpedoes.
This is a train
torpedoes.
wreck already. I'm so sorry, guys.
No, torpedoes. However, I didn't really find it surprising that the torpedoes won, and it was really nice for them to win this week. According to the interviews, they felt really discouraged for the past weeks that they kept on losing. They were on a losing streak, and finally having this 2-0 win gained they got their confidence back to continue the split and perform better, I suppose. Game one, Shivana. There's nothing else much I can say about that. Beatrix carried pretty hard. Soloing Rift Herald, by the way.
Oh my god, hold on. Let me.
A Hansu special.
Hantu
Jeez,
special.
man.
Let me just look up his KDA from that game real quick. 9, 1, and 7. It was just ridiculous.
Yep, pretty insane. He had high influence macro wise, and his damage output was incredibly high, and his impact throughout the game one was awesome. That was great job on him. Mid lane wise, J-Ra is not a easy matchup to go against, but the mid lane for the 9-inch torpedo is Bearded Bear Lover, if I'm correct.
You are.
Yeah. He held his own really well against JR, and I'm particularly more impressed about that than Theatrics getting ahead. So kudos to Bearded Bear Lover for even matching or being able to lane against JR that well. Game 2, Theatrix didn't go as well as game 1, but still had a decent impact in the game. Bearded Bear Lover definitely carried that game pretty hard. I would like to say. Not saying anyone else did not, but Bearded Bear Lover, especially in game 2, did an excellent job making sure the team are able to make picks and carry the team to the victory. And with a 2-0, 9-inch torpedo is gaining their confidence back with their first win of the championship so far. Am I correct?
Yes.
Yeah.
That was their first
And-
match and game victory.
Right. But Team Foreskins, J-Ra is still very dangerous. I hope this week, after this week, they're able to come back even stronger than before. Something they might need to work on might be. I've heard complaints. Wait, am I thinking
What?
about the? No. Am I thinking about this team? No, never mind. I'm thinking about the other team. I'm sorry. I'm
Oh
going
my God.
ahead of myself. I'm going ahead of
Fine.
myself. But if they keep their head up, play around JR, it's almost like Team Solo mid in a way, and JR is like the Bjergsen of their team. So if they can make it work, that'll be fantastic. And I have high hopes for the all of the teams.
Yeah, and so then the next match, I'm not gonna be talking about it because that would just be a bias fest. But Team Solo Feed pulling out the 2-0 over 7 Shades of Greg. I'm happy with it. I don't know. I'm a little bit happy with it.
Well, I think Team Solo Feed is showing their early dominance this split with the 2-0 over 7 Shades of Greg. Really pulling ahead early and then just staying ahead. Got a nice little Dragon Steel also from C-Van, so we'll show you that later.
We'll touch on that later. I
Why not?
believe if you count the individual games, we're on a 6-game winning streak right now.
Yeah, they
You know
lost
what?
the
You know what,
first
Rich?
two,
Sorry,
and then
Oh my god,
Yeah, they
I'm
lo-
being attacked here.
God,
They lost-
just let someone stroke your dick, man. Stop boasting about your team. God, I understand you're 6-0, but you don't have to like show everyone.
they're 6-2 actually, but
We're,
yeah.
we're 6-2 in games, yeah.
I wish it was reversed, but you know, I'm not complaining.
Okay then. Well, we're gonna move on just a little bit. We'll talk about. Well, actually, we're gonna talk about all these teams a little more in depth in a bit. But the next match and the last match of the week, 3 Pump Chumps pulling the 2-0 over Chase Squad.
Yes, so 3 Pump Chumps did a little bit of switcheroos this week and bamboozles and
Bamboozle.
they came up. Yes, they came up with the 2-0 over Chase Squad, who
Mhm.
chased them all over the map.
Stop.
Oh God.
No, I
Hey.
definitely feel the pain because I'm in Chase Squad and we got completely demolished by the other team.
So yeah,
So yeah,
We'll
that's just real quick recap of the matches. Right now the standings are currently Team Solo Feed in first place. What up? With 9 points. I'm gonna have to type this all out. And Cass's Shoe Shop actually with the win over Parp have the same number of points at 7, but because of the head-to-head tiebreaker, they are in second.
Dang.
And that leaves Parp in third. Meanwhile, Three Pump Chumps are sitting in fourth place with 6 points, and then
Team Foreskin.
Team Foreskin sitting at 5. Chase Squad actually still in playoff contention, currently even after the loss, sitting at 4 points. We have a tie for 7th actually between 7 Shades of Greg and 9 Inch Torpedoes, both with 3 points. Although, just actually I'll get to that in a bit. But sitting in last place currently are actually Tilted Torpedoes with 1 point. Although the bottom 3 teams all have had their bye week already, so that could be factoring into the less points they have. But currently it's, I realize TSF's in first, but that doesn't mean we're comfortable up here. So yeah,
You can change it in a second.
yeah,
Any
and it's PMA LCS. Anything can happen. Like, I know 7 Deadly Sins, like, we started pretty strong and then crashed and burned the last 2 weeks and got destroyed by CSO. So
Oh, that's my team. Oh,
yeah,
That was
kicked our ass. Holy. Ugh.
I don't remember.
that was last split.
That was in fact last split. But so we have the standings on the screen. We're just gonna actually just run down the standings and since it is halfway through the season, just talk a little bit about what we think each team needs to do to either stay in playoff contention or just rise up the standings a little bit, or if it's the last 3 place teams, what they need to do to get back into playoff contention. So we'll start off with Team Solo Feed, and I'm not talking about it.
All right, so Team Solo Feed is gonna have to keep building on the momentum they going since their first opening game where they lost to who was that? Parp.
Pretty handily, actually.
Yeah,
Not gonna lie.
got swept by Parp. So once after that loss, they've kind of rebounded and played pretty well on a 6-game winning streak so far. So we look for Team Solo Feed to continue this early dominance and make sure that they get enough points early enough that they don't have to really worry about playoff contention later, and they could possibly win the regular season winner. Moving on to Castus Shoe Shop.
That's me! Well, it's not my team, but I'm talking about them. But yeah, Cassis Shoe Shop also do kind of need to build off the momentum they do have. I think they're working together quite well as a team, and they have a nice core around the mid jungle of BG Mad Hatter and Clumsy Chocobo. But the bot lane, Family Man and Hoagie were the only bot lane to stick together, and they are playing well. They're not the stars of the show, but they are holding their own down there, and the entire team just as a whole is really starting to come together. And yeah, I think they just need to keep it up. If they can beat us, then that puts them into first. So they better start strategizing for that, I guess. So yeah, hold on, let me do that. Okay, bold those since we talked about them. Now, passive aggressive red panda. Well, pandas or panda, depending on who you ask. They had an off 2 weeks. By an off 2 weeks, we kind of mean an off day, because they played their last 2 matches over the course of like 18 hours, something ridiculous. So yeah, their week 3 match was a tie. Week 4 match was the 0-2 loss, and I think they need to rebound from that. I know the team atmosphere as a whole has been rough for outside of the game reasons, which I believe those should be clearing up. So I think if they bounce back from that, they can get back into the system with Ali being the insanely strong shot caller she is. If they bounce back into that, they can definitely challenge. Well, they've already beaten us and lost to CSS, but everyone below them, if they get back into the swing of things, they can pretty easily sweep the rest of the season. So yeah, 3 pump chumps. I believe Hansu's talking about this
3
one.
pump chums. Wow, Lugo is a heck of a player, I gotta say.
Lugo,
I faced them this week, and their ability to just make picks is unbelievable. Their pick and ban phase were pretty well done as well. And as long as they can keep the momentum up from the last game, which was a complete stomp, onto the next couple of games, I believe they have winning potential. They definitely will have a safe, guarantee way to go into the playoffs. It's really funny how I have to think about how flexible Lugo is as well. Switching the teammates in different roles, so you never know what you're gonna get. It's like a box of chocolate, you never know what you're gonna get. So, on the other note, the Team Foreskins, JR's team, like I said before, is similar to TSM, where they focus highly on the mid laner JR to be able to carry. And they had a little stomp last game against the Etrix team, but that doesn't necessarily mean they're on the ground anymore. They just had a bad game. And I think if they can pull it up, and start communicating and going for more of a macro play than mechanical play, they definitely have a potential to be one of the tops. Next lineup is Chase Squad, I think.
Yes.
Yeah, Chase Squad.
And I want to just throw something in real quick before I know Eric is talking about Chase Squad. But the top 5 teams, it's just going into the last half of the season, anything can happen up here. I think all of these teams are really close in team play, skill level, where they can finish in the end of the season. And by the end of the season, we could see everything just flipped completely. So I don't expect the standings to remain the way they are for much longer. So yeah, on to Chase Squad, Hansu's team.
Oh boy.
Hansu gets to sit here and listen to Eric
I get
just
roasted.
shit on him. Yeah.
I'm ready. Give it to me.
You're ready. Alright, so Chase Squad. They've done a bit of switcheroos for the last little while. I don't know if those are permanent, with Eric moving into the mid lane. And since they've done that, they've actually played pretty well. And Caleb played pretty well in the top lane this last time out. Wasn't the same, but then again, it worked. So I don't know if that's a permanent move they're going to do or not. They've also used the sub list pretty extensively. It looks like they've had at least one sub.
They've had one sub for every position except ADC.
Yeah, one sub for every position per week, basically.
Yeah, we had our team
So
busy.
looking to see Chase Squad get some sort of synergy when they get everybody, because I don't think they've had everybody quite yet, and that might make a difference going into the later part of the season. They still got 7 Shades of Greg and Tilted Torpedoes, 2 very winnable matches for them, and then they have 2 of the harder matchups, I think, in Team Solo Feed and Cass's Shoe Shop to close out. So looking to see Chase Squad get a couple of results here coming up, maybe to push their standing up just a little bit higher so that they can make the playoffs. Alright, and now on to 7 Shades
of Greg. Once I did this thing, there we go. So 7 Shades currently in 7th. I think their team play, I think, is definitely together. They've had the roster since they had roster issues the first week and in the preseason, but since they sorted those out, I think they're actually meshing really well together. I think the problem is with the team currently, and is kind of just like they don't have anyone really stepping up as a primary carry. They have guys who currently are all kind of functioning as secondary carries, but you need a primary carry, and I think if they can establish that, they can fight for the playoff spot. And honestly, I'm looking at Opie in the bot lane to be that primary carry. He has played well, don't get me wrong, but he hasn't quite been pushing it like I think he can, and especially Opie and Gert, I think, are one of the strongest bot lanes in the league. So if they can really be aggressive in the lane, get advantages there, and really get Opie snowballing, I think they can win games and get back into a playoff spot off that. So yeah, 9-inch torpedoes.
9-inch torpedoes. They're in a pretty rough spot, but they still have a chance. For the past 3 weeks, they continuously lost 0-2. And when all hope was lost, they just come back turn around 180, and come back with a 2-0. Dietrich is a very strong jungler, knowing what to do in terms to neutral jungles and stuff. Although I did hear complaints about some communication issues with the other roles. If they can make communication a lot more efficient, they have a better chance to win team fights or make picks and etc. The team isn't weak. Just I think communicating is really important, and if they carry the momentum they had on week 4 all the way to the end, they'll have a chance to be in the playoffs. I truly believe that. But this is a good start from losing streak into going into hopefully a winning streak for 9-inch torpedoes.
Yeah.
On to the next team.
Tilted Torpedoes.
Our favorite meme team. So, the Tilted Torpedoes have the unfortunate position of being last place in the standings with only 1 point. That being said, what we're looking for with the Tilted Torpedoes, they have a pretty difficult upcoming schedule, I would say. Team Solo Feed, Chase Squad, Foreskin, and Passive Aggressive Red Panda to close out, and then close out with 9-inch torpedoes. So looking for I think the top lane needs to take more advantage of the mismatches they can get in the top lane in certain matchups. Push that advantage a bit more, and then decide. I think they've been trying to decide whether it'd be better for General Dill or the Torpedo Brooks to go down the mid lane.
Our favorite meme.
Our favorite meme. So, is the Torpedo going to stay in the mid lane, or is the Torpedo going to go down to the bot lane? And that, I think, is the big question moving forward for the Tilted Torpedoes. Are they going to continue with one or the other? And is that going to be solid? Because they need to pick up a couple results here if they're going to have a chance of moving on to the playoffs.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, absolutely. So that's going to do it for our little rundown of the teams. So next we have what we have decided we think are the top 3 plays of the week. So I'm just going to actually pull these up. So number 3 is we're actually going to Frank's Quadra against Parp, so I'm going to just pull that up in a second.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, Frank's positioning was really well done.
TP coming in.
Fight.
Sword Fight not going to stun anyone though. Chain of Corruption nicely done on the 2.
Family Man's here.
Oh no, he's not. No, he's not. He's all the way bot, but blinking health towards for Parp. They are going to clean this up, but no.
Oh, the double kill
down. Triple for DG Mad Hatter. They're looking at that's why Jimmy and DJ Matter want theirs to twist advance. That's the Quadra.
The Penta?
Penta?
Do
you have any more ult charges? No, he does not.
Hurry on, not gonna. So, yeah, there weren't a ton of like extremely notable plays this week besides the 2 that we're gonna get to next. But I think that it was a 3v5 fight and they win it, and Frank comes out with a Quadra. It's like, I think that's actually pretty insane.
It's all about staying in the back line. It's not. This is no way of a fancy, flashy plays, but this is all about knowing how to position yourself as a back line and doing as much DPS or burst as possible. And Frank did an excellent job as Ari to lend the charms, to lend the cues, to dealing damage when you need to without dying throughout the fight. That's how they came on top.
So at number 2, we do have Sivan's Dragon Steel actually against 7SG.
Whew, this was a doozy.
Yeah.
Gave me anxiety watching this.
Oh, it looks like Seven Shades is starting that dragon. They have 4 out of 5. Everyone but Fiora is on that dragon, and they are going to be doing a good amount of damage. Oh my goodness.
Oh my god.
We do see the Kog'Maw Dragon Steel.
Okay, I'm actually gonna play this back at a quarter speed because this is actually pretty ridiculous. So, yeah, he launched a 2-shot barrage actually onto Gert, and then the Luden's proc off of it stole the dragon at 3 HP. Like, I mean, he exact like oh god, what is happening? There we go. Like in game, Chris was like, "Did I just steal it with the Ludens?" And then we go back and watch it. It's like, "Oh my god."
That's like
that happened.
90% luck. But that's like,
Yeah.
what are the odds of that happening? It's like one of the better Dragon Steels I've seen.
I'm having flashbacks to, I think it was OGN finals last summer, KT versus Rocks Tigers, where Smeb stole Baron with a Gangplank Cannon Barrage and score miss-smited at 2 HP, and the Cannon Barrage hit at the perfect moment. So well, that was on Baron, but just insane steals like that. It's like, yeah. And of course, I think y'all know where this is going. Number 1 play. Of course, it's this one. I'm just gonna play
we just
it.
saw Jimmy, who has died infinitely more against this Leona.
Oh my god!
Rich, put it in your pants. It's okay. It's okay.
Is that a rocket
It was just
anytime?
just a Jinx play. It's not. It was good, but you don't have to Craigasm over it.
Orgasm, just watching that over and over again.
Yeah. Also,
Craigasm,
the first instance of an orgasm on stream of PMA LCS.
Oh god.
Oh my god. So, yeah, that's gonna be top 3 plays of the week. Just write those down. Frank Squadra, Evan's Drag Steel, and what we're going to dub. Oh. Family Man 96's Jinxgasm.
Jinxgasm.
Aptly
Okay.
name.
It's not Jinxgasm, it's Richgasm.
Well, I wasn't the one who stole the Baron.
That's actually his one of the champion ability for Rich the non-binary. That's just W. It gives an extra bonus speed.
Rich the non-binary's W is Jinxgasm. It allows them to instantly orgasm on stream.
I would pay not to watch.
I would too. Don't worry. So yeah, we're gonna move on. But next thing we want to do, I'm gonna just make some more lines. Is actually talk about at least for us, this shouldn't be interpreted as like the official PMA LCS whatever, but the OP5 for the week. So.
And this is only our opinion on it of how we've seen certain things.
Yeah.
So, if anyone has anything otherwise, just leave it in the chat or feel free to. Is this gonna go to YouTube?
Yes.
Yeah, just feel free to comment on the comment section.
Yeah. Just
feel free to comment on the
comment and
section.
subscribe.
Yeah.
Oh god. So
yeah.
this was a collective effort by the 3 of us, which the explanation will make more sense when we get to it later. But for top lane, we actually went with Jimmy from Cass's shoe shop, and no, all top laners this week, like none of them like stood out insanely. Like a bunch of them had solid weeks, but we think that Jimmy he's had a rough start to the season, but he showed up big against Parp. He held his own in lane against Caleb, who I personally rate as one of the best top laners in the league. Maokai versus Aurelia, it's like he's supposed to lose that, both the people and the champions, and he won the lane. It's like, okay, how? But he did it. He held his own against Caleb. He played team fights extremely well. I need to look at stats, but he died. What was it? He died 5 times, has 6.4 KDA. He had 0 kills too, which, I mean, as playing a tank both games, he was basically a second tankier support, and he absolutely did his job in that capacity. So, yeah, top lane, we are giving it to Jimmy. And so next up, the jungle. Actually, hold on, before we get to the jungle, I think we want to mention honorable mentions for top lane. I want to actually give a little shout out to Garfield Juice, TSF's top laner, my boy. I think not that he's had like a rough couple weeks, but he also stepped up, and he died like once. He was playing out of his mind this week. But even in my biased quote unquote opinion, I still give the edge to Jimmy because he's stepped up massively from what we've seen so far. But anyway, now finally onto jungle. Let me preface this by saying this was a really hard decision for all of us, but we are going with Lugo.
Yeah, I agree. Lugo, I believe he went.
Let me
correct me if I'm wrong. 21-0, I believe this game.
21-0, 17 for the series. Like,
yeah, that's
Jesus.
pretty crazy. That score is self-explanatory. You don't need to look at. It's like you look at 21-0 and just like, oh, he's doing. You're not gonna say, oh, he's doing, but he's doing fantastic. That's great. That's awesome. And I don't know how like he didn't die at all for the entire series, but this man was making plays left to right. He was everywhere in the map. He knew what to do. He knew when to farm and when to gank, and he was just a monster this week.
Yeah, and the reason we had a hard time deciding this week was because Theatrics also had a monster week, but we gave it to Lugo over Theatrics just barely because Lugo had 2 monster games. Theatrics had a monster game and a game he contributed. He didn't take over game 2 of his series. But so just kind of because of that, we are giving the edge to Lugo. But
we're adding one more. Sorry to interrupt. We are also giving Lugo the priority as well because of the pocket pick, which we will talk about a little later. But he did bring out Echo Jungle, so
yeah,
we'll discuss more about that later.
Yeah, we will touch on pocket picks later. We will have a little pocket pick segment that will be weekly. But moving on, the mid lane, we're actually giving it to. He was Bearded Bear Lover last week, so we're gonna call him Bearded Bear Lover for this. But
alright,
because he's still bearded and he still loves bears.
Or as I call him, he's a bearded beer lover.
Yes.
Correct.
Right. So
Yeah,
bearded bear lover
Yeah,
faced off against JRAR.
yes.
Played a Lux and an Orianna, and managed to get some kills on JRAR early, which in and of itself is not an easy thing to do. And then very much contributed to his team's domination of Team Foreskin, along with Theatrics. So that synergy between jungle and mid really was a big part of their victory, which is why we give the nod to Bearded Bear Lover.
Yeah, and also we do want to give an honorable mention this week to DG Mad Hatter. He had a really good couple of games. He really held his own against Ali, even beat her in the lane. I would need to like go back and rewatch for exact specifics, but he held down that lane and then just took over team fights on, I believe it was Ahri and Vel'Koz. I need to double check this. Anivia and Ahri, sorry.
Anivia and Ahri.
But he was just holding down team fights. He just did so much damage and had really good positioning. So I think the reason we give the edge to Bearded Bear Lover is because of 9IT. Like he showed up this week, especially like compared to previous weeks. DG Mad Hatter has kind of had the same consistent performance this entire season, but it doesn't mean he had any less bad of a week. So anyway, on to ADC, and this is where I have to preface this by saying we chose this. We actually decided to go with me.
Well, I kind of chose it, so
Eric chose this.
I'm gonna take this.
Eric chose
Hold
this.
on, it's a
No
we,
more
but
from
not
the
Eric
non-binary.
chose this. I didn't choose this. Eric did.
Right, so we did choose Jirachi as the winner of the OP5 for the ADC. Jirachi led the damage charts for everybody. That includes mid laners, top laners, junglers, you name it. Jirachi was at the top of damage per minute. So based on that and based on the solid team performance, we give Jirachi the nod. However, we do also have an honorable mention for Family Man for his steal.
My favorite play of the season.
Yes, for favorite play of the season so far.
For the record, I gave it to Family Man because I think he had really solid games, and that the Jinx steal was ridiculous.
Yeah, and we also have an honorable mention for Piper for dropping down from the jungle into the AD carry role and play AD carry in this split so far. So we gave an honorable mention also to Piper for expanding his horizons.
Yeah, and solid week from him too. And finally, the support, we're actually giving it to Simplex17, and I believe
My
Fox, you have
son.
this one.
My son, you made it. You made it to the big boy table.
He's not on your team though, is he?
No, it's not.
No.
Yeah.
But I did play against him, and Simplex excels at warding enemy jungle. I've been a victim of this twice, last season and this season. So he does an excellent job warding the jungle, so they know pretty much where I am. As well as he plays a lot of peel champion, and his performance in Janna and Morgana was excellent this week. Whenever jungler and other lanes try to go for the dive or go aggressive on bot lane, Janna pretty much repelled them all with the ult and with her kit, and they couldn't get any kills. And I believe that Chase Squad only had 3 kills total for that series. It was pretty humiliating, but Simplex did an excellent job peeling for the team, warding for the team as well, and boarding the enemy jungle so they know exactly where the jungler is. That's why I'm giving it to him. Seaman will be the honorable mention. Eric can talk about more about Seaman's performance.
Yes, because we all love Seaman. Seaman was the jungler and the support that played against my team, Team Foreskin. He played for the 9-inch torpedoes, and what he did was poke my ADC and myself out of our lane, basically, so that we were down at least 20 CS for pretty much the entirety of both games. Played a Sona, played a Lulu, just provided that sustain and that peel that you need to, do well as a team. And so we gave our honorable mention to Seaman.
Not only that, we are actually doing a sub of the week, which we are actually giving to Seaman. We're only gonna do this when there's like multiple subs and one of them does well. But yeah, I don't think we need to go into it much more. I'm gonna type out of the week.
Very good job by Seaman.
Yeah.
Hooray.
So
I like saying that name.
Oh my god. So just some.
Eric, please. Oh god, this is a Christian server.
Oh god. So some.
You really don't know what that means,
Oh
do you?
my god. I'm just gonna call this news, but like miscellaneous stuff. So we have a few things we want to talk about. 2 of them are about 3 pump chumps. The first thing is about their role swaps. I did receive word from, I believe, Piper that these are permanent, but if anyone doesn't know, this is Lugo going from mid to jungle, Bellowing Bison going from ADC to mid lane, and Piper going from the jungle down to the bot lane.
Yeah, I'm wondering if they switch that at all because of just the matchups they're going to see in the next 4 weeks. You got Team Foreskin, Passive Aggressive Red Pandas, 9-inch Torpedoes, and Cassis Shoe Shop all in a row. And each of those 4 teams has a mid laner that I think significantly outranks Bellowing Bison. He's a good player, but he's not on that level quite yet.
He's not plat yet.
Yeah, he's not plat yet, and I know he's trying to get better, and everybody's improving. But at a certain point, is it going to be worth it to send him up against JRAR and Ali, Rob, and DG Mad Hatter? So those are going to be some questions if they're going to switch that around or just say heck with it and go. I think it'll be something to look forward to in the future.
Definitely.
Also, with that team, 3 Pump Chumps, we have the return of everybody's favorite Jace playing main, Sebastian.
Oh,
Light Pulse 94.
boy.
So this is the first time we've seen Sebastian because he's been gone on vacation, I do believe.
Yeah, hopefully I don't know. No one knows what's up with Sebastian. Sebastian, I think, was watching the stream earlier. He might still be on. The viewer list isn't loading, but hopefully he is back. We all want to see a pentaban happen. I think he's our only hope of it happening. No. We want to see a pentaban.
I definitely
Sebastian
want to.
doesn't, but if Sebastian gets pentabanned, you give free reign to everyone else. So yeah, don't pentaban him. Don't even maybe triple. Honestly, triple ban anyone at most is what I think, and not just because I've gotten quadra banned. Like, don't. If once you start quadra banning people, you leave up so many picks for everyone else.
Can we have 10 bans, even their team bans against
Ban them.
We get 5 extra bans just for me.
I'm looking forward to that.
And the final bit of news for a week: summoner name changes. So we have 2. We're gonna start with the stupid one. The Bearded Bear Lover has changed his name to this. You're not hallucinating. Rabababa.
I wish the bees were the one of those like meme bees, like with the red squares and the bees. I wish that character showed up in the Summoner's Ring. That would be the funny thing. I don't think I could play against that.
It's funny.
You can play against that. You just laugh the whole time.
Rob, you've made a terrible mistake. And the other notable summoner name change, it happened a week ago, but we might as well talk about it. Sean/Enchante is now Daspite because of account issues. Had to change over to a different account, but yeah. So.
Wait, really?
Yeah.
Oh,
without going into too much more detail. But yeah, that's news for the week. Next, our little pocket pick of the week segment, and we have one with an honorable mention, which we'll get into later, and that is Lugo's Echo Jungle. And I believe Hansu has a lot to say about this.
Oh boy, where do I start? Well, Echo Jungle used to be really nice back in the day when they had the 3-second passive as well as the slow on your passive. But that got nerfed, and ever since then, the Jungle Echo gets slowly nerfed. Eventually, Echo made his way to top lane and mid lane. Oh my gosh, I can't talk. But
we know.
With the buffing of Cinderhawk and rushing that, Echo's jungle is viable once again. Is it gonna do a lot of damage with Cinderhawk? But no. But you're gonna be really, really sticky once you build Cinderhawk Trinity. And just being able to chase people around with the movement speed, with the Trinity Force, tankiness of the Cinderhawk, and etc. You're just gonna be able to damage a lot. You're gonna dish out a lot of damage, but still be able to have a lot of more resistance against comparative to AP jungle build.
Yeah, okay, so yeah, I have the op.gg of the game pulled up. The build was the most not random, but the most like, what am I watching? But it's still working thing I've seen in a while. Tiamat Cinderhawk went to the Trinity Force. Okay, this looks normal. Phantom Dancer, and then Last Whisper. like
Honestly, I
well.
think Fernandez and the
Okay.
Fernandez in last episode, he probably went there because he was so ahead of the game. He just didn't need to build any resistant item. But would I definitely recommend that? I wouldn't say so. I'd say build a little more tanky so you got more survivability. But definitely, if you're ahead, that's whatever you recall. I respect that. But that's a really interesting call. Cinderhawk Echo seems very interesting, and I'm really looking forward to trying
Gonna
it
go
out.
try it out. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
All right.
Hantu loves his Echo Jungle. So, and
Moving on.
our honorable mention pocket pick of the week is actually Leona, which just taking Leona anywhere. Also, that she's winless. So both top and support Leona both have 0 and something win rates.
So I'm looking at you, Hanso, to play Leona in the jungle.
You know I played Leo Jungle in normals. I got 14 and 3. You know this.
I'm just saying, we're looking for you to pull it out in the jungle and see
Maybe against the
Oh
the
god.
infamous meme comp.
the meme. Yeah, the meme dreams.
The tilted torpedoes. If they're willing
Yeah.
to meme, I would be
I
willing
thought
to
it was
meme as
9-inch
well.
torpedoes, but
We already had that fight. We already won
Did
against
you?
them. Yeah,
Oh.
that was last week. I was Shivana.
oh, that's right. I was subbed in that game. I forgot about that already. Anyway,
so yeah,
forward.
that is actually just about going to do it. The schedule we do have, just talk about the schedule for next week and maybe any of the matches we are excited for. If I can blow up this table.
Right.
That's a little better.
Do you want me to just
Alright,
start?
so
start.
I got it. So we have Team Solar Feed versus Tilted Torpedoes, Team Foreskin versus 3 Pump Chumps, Parp versus 9-inch Torpedoes, and the 7 Shades of Greg versus the Chase Squad. What's your guys' match of the week? Eric, go.
That's a hard pick.
That is a hard pick.
I
Sorry, you go first.
Yeah, let's see. Will Team Solo Feed continue to feed the mid lane and the bot lane to their leads? Or will the torpedo go nuclear all over Jirachi's face?
Stop.
Oh god. Okay, bye. I'm leaving.
The stream's over. Cut it off.
Stream's over. Oh,
Will
yeah.
7 Shades of Greg get chased by Chase Squad
Stop.
into their dungeon?
No, we're done here.
Of
We're
happiness
done,
and
we're done.
It doesn't
sadness.
help that it doesn't help that like my pride flag's on the back of my chair. So it's like, oh god, let's just remind ourselves of like me getting having people go nuclear on my face.
Question though.
Yeah.
Did Dylan ever switch roles at all, or
He
Wait, is that still on?
they swapped for 1 week. I believe it was week 1. I just need to double check who it was against. They swapped. Dylan and the Torpedo swapped for week 1 against 3 Pump Chumps when Lugo was still in the mid lane. So
Okay.
I don't know whether they will do it against us. I need to ask Dylan because that's gonna affect my prep obviously. But
Right.
yeah, so.
But on that note,
Go
the
ahead,
game
yeah.
to be excited about. Sorry, I'm actually excited about the Team Solo Feed against Tilted Torpedoes.
like actually though.
No, I'm because like the general goes on ADC, correct?
I don't know.
Sometimes.
According to the chart I'm looking
yeah.
at,
According to the
he
roster, he is
supposedly-
ADC.
yeah.
But yeah.
If he is on ADC, I'm pretty excited to look at how the bot lane matchup will come to fruition.
That's gonna be a hard matchup. Like actually, like Dylan's insane, and yeah, I don't think I've actually laned against him ever.
It's because
Mhm.
he's usually in the mid lane.
Yeah, exactly. Or not even in like Bro 5v5s or anything. So.
Yeah.
So you're gonna take out that Evelyn ADC, right?
Oh no. Oh god. I play Evelyn. He plays Lethality Tarek. Let's go.
Oh
Let's
no!
go. I like
Hey,
it.
on,
Oh my god.
on that note,
But my match of the week actually to watch is gonna be Parp versus 9IT. It's Parp is kind of a team currently like on the downswing, but he can easily pick it back up, and 9IT's kind of the reverse. Like they're on an upswing. They have momentum. It could crash and burn, but these two, like 9IT having momentum, could put them in a good spot against Parp. But we will have to see if Parp can pick it back up. I think they will. Like I think it's either going to be a 2-0 for Parp or a tie. Like personally, but that's me. I'm really excited to watch that match. I honestly really want to cast it. But yeah, I don't think we have anything else, so that will do it for our first edition / the week 4 edition of what we're gonna call the Asian recap.
Oh god.
minus hero, also known as. Oh god. No, I didn't actually. I didn't keep it around. Welcome to Champion Spotlight. No. But yeah, so that is going to do it for us this week. So for Rich, a non-binary, a panda, and a trash can. Not good night, but have a good day, y'all.
Oh yeah, before you end, sorry for interrupting really quick. If you have any suggestions or if you have some plays that you want to submit, find it on the Twitch clip and then link it to one of us. Or if you have something that you want to talk about, like hey, this person did excellent job or this person shouldn't be here, we're all for discussion and we would love to hear your feedbacks. So we're here.
Absolutely, yeah. I forgot about that, but yeah, and I mean, it's the 3 of us right now, but we're not just sitting here like, oh, we're gonna just do this on our own. Blah, blah, blah. If anyone like wants to help out with this, or like wants to co-host, maybe wants to help like with discussion or like plays of the week, we are gonna actually go into position tier lists in future weeks. So if anyone wants to like offer their opinion with that or just help out at all, like shoot one of us a message. We are more than happy to accept help. But yeah, I think that's actually it. So yeah, have a good day, y'all.
So long, and thanks for all the fish.